Humans in 30ish, Matt Peake. How are you, my friend?
Oh, McCredden, I'm really good. I actually this week remember episode, I think it was 1 or 2. You brought up Chappelle Corby on SAS Australia.
Yeah. Did you check that out?
It's the greatest show on Australian television right now. Did you watch it?
I saw the first episode. I saw the majority of the first episode. Yeah.
Oh man, and Chappelle. I mean, if you think things can take a turn for the worse on this podcast, when she admitted to the SAS guys that she had hallucinations of eating her father's flesh, that just took it to another level. What did you feel when she admitted to those things? Did you catch that?
No, I didn't catch that bit. And
I'm
disappointed that I switched off. I actually switched off around the time she was sitting in front of those guys and they were looking through her backstory, because I was a bit over it. I'm just like, I don't want to hear this again. I feel like it'll be a bit of a setup thing, but yeah, maybe I should have watched on. Damn.
Oh fuck, man, this show is legit. And look, Chappelle is out, but what a the 2 episodes she was on, it was unbelievable. From talking about hallucinations in Bali of eating her father, and then just every time she was challenged, she would just bring it back to her being in jail. And like, we get it, Chappelle. So what? But yeah, good shout on Ep 1 or 2 whenever it was, because it really paid off. Thank you.
Okay, good. No, pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Humans in 30ish. This is episode 8, Matt. So we're chugging through it, and it's getting, I just feel like it's just gaining momentum. It's getting a lot, each episode's so much fun and full of the unknown. And for anyone who's tuning in for the first time, in this series, Matt and I each bring a couple of topics that we throw out there to each other, and just to break down and pull them apart and see where they go. And it's fair to say, there's been some loose stuff, there's been some surprising stuff, there's been some
metaphysical.
Calling some shots early, like the Chappelle call. So, all that sort of stuff. There's no limits, and that's another key factor in this. There's no real sort of direction it has to go. We just let it go.
We're explorers. Of the everyday. Yeah.
Thank you. Explorers of the everyday. I'm going to get T-shirts made up of that tomorrow. But Matt, I'm handing over to you. You are kicking things off tonight, so go for it.
Yeah. No, thanks. I actually wanted to start with the concept of, I guess it's a domestic one, of the word or concept of handyman. Now, as a male, with a family, the term handyman, I believe, has changed subconsciously, I believe, and I think it needs to be brought to the conscious, because I can admit to you, and look, I assume you've got the farm and you've got your various utility vehicles. You seem like a handyman, but I'm not a handyman at all. And I think in my 20s, that was probably like a pride thing that I didn't know how to deal with. But actually, my partner, Anna, she is a really handy woman when it comes to fixing things around the house. But so much so, she's really passionate about it. And I've reached a point in my life where I'm accepting for if she wants to get after some Mrs. Fix-It tasks out in the backyard or around the house, I'm totally cool with that. And I think it signifies a key moment in our society that women are actually extremely handy when it comes to fixing things, doing what are typically known as, tasks men should do around the house. Because Anna is an absolute gun at it, but she's passionate about it, right? And I just wanted to drop that on you and see what you felt about that handyman stigma that I want to shed.
Well, traditionally it's been a very male, a word that's been slapped on males pretty much exclusively, and you're absolutely right. And I feel like the females that are very good at this stuff get maybe labelled as crafty instead of, do you know what I mean? Like it's it's not fair at all. So I'm 100% with you. This is a time of change, and I think there'd be a lot of cases where the handy person is not the traditional, father. Well, it's the same in even just in, who's the main money earner in the family. Sometimes
Totally.
that's changed. Like, there's so many families where it's the wife that's the one that brings in the dough and all that. So that all wraps around what you're saying there, and I think it's a great point. And I will say too, just to clarify, and I guess, the look of where I live and maybe what I do would suggest that I'm pretty handy. Get it? No, not at all.
Oh, good. Okay. So it's just a facade.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I love that you think I am, because that makes me feel like, I built this place. Yeah, no probs.
Yeah, no, it's and going back to in my 20s, if there was another guy, or say an older man, and they just knew what they're doing, I just didn't know how to fit in. I was just Phillips head, just standard Phillips head for that. Yeah. Or I just sort of nod and cross my arms, but I really have nothing to offer. And even now with my partner, if you want me to lift something that's a little bit heavy, I can move it to A to B. I can hold a ladder, but if other than that, like she is the leader in that realm.
You would be able to put together a flat packed sort of arrangement from IKEA, though, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about just general, a passion to fix things.
Yeah. No,
and she has that.
Yeah, and like you, growing up, one thing I always thought was that, because I have 2 or 3 mates who are just, they can just fix anything, they can build anything, they can, whether it's cars or sort of around the house or whatever it is, they've just got it, and they just know how it all works. And that I never did, and I always used to think that was something I wish I had. I wish I was able to walk up to a car engine and just do something. My father-in-law is the ultimate handyman, to use that phrase. Like he did build his house. He puts together cars and tractors, and anything you throw at him, he will be able to do. And I am so jealous of that skill set.
Yeah, see, I'm not. I'm not. I've let go. I've shed that skin. Like my partner's father is exactly like that. A master builder, master gardener, like elite, absolute genius. And she has inherited that. But you know what? I'm absolutely cool with that. If you want my services, if you want emotional renovations, come to me. If I'm talking about emotions and painting feelings, or whatever renovations need to happen, like within the human, that's cool. But it's also letting go of that expectation, because her Anna's friends, her male friends, are like the Expendables of carpenters. There's like 5 or 6 of them, and that's cool with me. Like, if there's a big project at our place, mate, I'll fucking sit and watch the UFC all day, and those guys can get after it with her in the backyard. I'm not jealous at all. I'm not worried about that at all. And I think the handy woman, the handy man, whatever it is, it's about passion for the task of fixing it, not the stereotype or the expectation. And that comes back to other things like women sewing. It's just expected, but maybe a man could sew. You know what I'm saying?
I do. And I said,
I'm sort of feeling that vibe right now. And like your point on income, or I just think it's, some people have better dexterity than others, and whether you're male or female, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I like that. That's a good start.
I think people can relate to it in a way.
I think so. Totally. Yeah. Totally. Times are changing. Labels are changing. Labels need to be completely revamped or gotten rid of altogether. So this is a good area you're in. Good area you're in.
Good.
I'm going to mix it up a little bit, but keep it on the domestic level to a degree, but probably more a local scene. And it's something that I just want to put out there. Activewear. Now,
wow.
The thing with activewear, and my message is,
the
activewear itself doesn't make you fit. Do you know where I'm going with this? The activewear isn't a piece of equipment for a fitness club that you just use and it helps make you fit. It's fashion.
Do you think it's look? I sort of had an issue with activewear before the pandemic when it was sort of worn too regularly. But I understand now, around the house when we're in lockdown, activewear is kind of a go-to.
Mm. Yeah, sure. No, that's fine. That's fine. I think it's it's probably I'm probably pre-pandemic. So it's the, going, just doing grocery shopping or going to have a coffee with your friends or maybe even go and sit and watching a movie or something. It's it's the use of it. I feel like it's almost it's almost maybe a bit of a front saying, hey, I'm absolutely in my fitness regime and zone right now, and yet I'm not doing anything, but I'm wearing this, so surely that gives me the ability to be fit and healthy. It doesn't work that way. I've heard people in the workplace that come into work, in the gear and to and from work, and know for a fact that they're not doing any sort of exercise or fitness regime. But I've physically heard them say, "Oh, I'm having a bit of a fitness kick at the moment." You go, but you're not. You're just wearing clothes that people wear. I liken it to sort of fishing. You can have all the best fishing gear in the world, but it doesn't mean you're going to catch a marlin on the weekend.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I think it's different for men and women, right? So
yeah.
So let's say you just go into the shops to do a shop. I can understand that you would put on the leggings because it keeps everything in and it's quite comfortable rather than having to get dressed up and putting on an outfit. I think there is that unfair expectation on women that the outfit when you go out needs to be, there's a little bit more pressure on the woman to have an outfit than the male. And that's where I think activewear may just make women feel a little bit more comfortable when they hit the street or hit the shops for day-to-day tasks. That's sort of how I was. I had an issue with it until a mate explained that, hey, my partner wears it. She feels comfortable in it because it does compress, it does bring things in. Whereas a sloppy jalopy track pant, or is you don't feel good and secure about that. But then to go a step further with jeans, you got to match that with a top and all this stuff. But almost the activewear, I'm not a woman, but that statement is like, okay, I don't care about, I'm just doing this day-to-day thing. But I do understand that.
Well, I'll give you the reason for my trigger, and it's the contradiction that led me to this point, or witnessing a contradiction that led me to this, bringing it up, is a couple of days ago, just driving down the road and witnessing a person in all the active wear going for a walk with a cigarette. And I kind of just think one doesn't cancel out the other. Just because you look like you're
bit of Kath and Kim action.
Yeah, in the mood. I don't. Walking with a cigarette, exercising with it just cancels each other out. So just choose one and embrace it.
Well, I guess there's a difference. So you've got male activewear and female activewear. But the male activewear, if you don't have a short or something over those leggings, you got a problem. It's like those mammals, the cyclists that clomp into the cafes pre-pandemic, with their little balls and cocks just in your face when you're having your long black and you see a short white, But but I would much rather see a woman. This is personal preference. In the activewear, which is, again, like the lingerie, it's an evolving industry. There's better materials. There's more complementary designs. There's pockets I see in the leggings these days. I think if it, there's great colors. There's great color palettes. So look, I'm probably not as negative as what you are, because there's all shapes and sizes, but those compression, they do make you feel nice and tight and robust.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And look, the last little point, I suppose, is that, and I was going to raise it, you've got a strong marketing background, Matt. Is the activewear one of the greatest marketing achievements
Brilliant.
of all time?
Genius.
Amazing. amazing stuff. So hats off to the creators, to the consumers. Not sure.
Well, I actually semi know the founder. I don't know. I've never met him, but through various channels, the dude who started 2XU, who's made millions. He started in Mitch Dowd, this guy called Clive, and he just saw, like we were talking about, that gap in the market for taking that high-end athlete. Kathy Freeman in the 2000 Olympics, she wore a whole compression suit, right? So people aren't getting around in the whole suit, but you take that concept day to day, and you find yourself a market. So it's bloody huge, and there's so many brands.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's interesting because it's a really good segue to the topic. This is the randomness of this show.
Yeah.
That there can be crossover, but there can be complementary subjects. And I think out of all 8 episodes, this is the best lead-in to my topic, which is Insta Fitness Couples.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a good lead in, actually. Good segue.
It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Now I'm going to be honest. I'm a bit of an arse man. Okay. Now Instagram has got to know me over the years, and there's some thirst traps out there for a man like me. I don't know how they do it, or the algorithm has spotted. So maybe I was looking up lingerie or something. Not male lingerie. That's a different project of mine. But lingerie for the doll or domestic purposes. Mm-hmm. But I had stumbled across Insta Fitness Couples, and I started to sort of do a bit of a deep dive, not in a perverted way, but I noticed there are so many Insta Fitness couples who are nobodies, who have 500,000, 1 million followers, and they're just exercising. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're promoting the leggings of which you speak. Mm. But I actually looked at it. It is like it's almost like the laziest form of making an income is these unprofessional fitness people who have great bodies, mind you, they do. Mm. But it's like the famous Kenny Powers quote, right? I play real sports. I'm not trying to be the best at exercising. That's Kenny Powers' quote from Eastbound and Down. So I have a real gripe with fitness couples because all they're doing, so the male, great body, but there's a lot of photos on there where they'll show off their abs and their arms, and the female will be mainly butt exercises. It's just, focusing on the ass and the exercise. Then there's a shot of the butt, then there's exercise, and there's a shot of the butt. Then like every 20 shots or so on Instagram, it's like a tribute to their partner. It's like, oh, love heart, this guy, And I'm just wondering, it seems like some sort of bizarre mating ritual where they're putting it out, their bodies out there, but they're a couple. But it's like a continuous mating backup plan.
Yeah. So what are they? Are they selling? Are they selling a product? Are they selling a service? What are these people doing?
Not
or are
really.
It's just like they're doing it for the sake of it.
Look, eventually they may pick up some sponsorships, but it's all it is fitness couples. They're just showing different exercises. Yeah. But it's not really focused on health or well-being. It's just like, here's my butt. Here's a way to get a juicy butt. Or it's very superficial for the guy and the girl. And I started to think about the mentality behind it. And that's where I think Instagram is like this sort of quasi mating ritual of backup plans, where if it goes awry, maybe Kanye or a Kim would come along and hit me in the DMs, and I can just leave this joker for someone who's got a real amount of money.
Yeah, right.
Think about pre-internet, social media and phone, right? Say that couple, they go on a honeymoon to, say, Fiji, and they go and get their whole role developed at Kodak, and they take it to their family Christmas and show the photos to grandma. So the whole photo, the whole notion of the photo has been cheapened. So in the album, it's like, oh, hey, grandma, this is a photo of our holiday. Oh, here's a shot of my butt. Oh, here's another shot of my butt.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another angle. Oh, no, here's a shot of my... Oh, no, that's just a shot of me and Ren. Oh, no, here's another shot of my butt. and here's Ren with his abs and his muscles.
Yeah.
And it's just all individual shots in this album, and they're never together, and it's never wholesome.
Interesting.
And I see it that like every, fitness Insta couple, it's just the same.
Yeah. The other thing with that, I would say, and this is, I'm just floating this out there, so let me know what your thoughts are. But of the, let's call it a 500,000 followers. What percentage is actually interested in the male out of these followers? Who's driving it?
Exactly. It's those thirst traps that get the likes.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, it's just it's half the exercise, and then it's half just the booty shot or the ab shot. Now there's only one reason you're showing that. I believe that's a backup plan.
Wow. That is interesting.
Well, we're mating. We're creatures who mate, right?
Yeah.
So subconsciously, you're putting it out there.
So again, the booty shot you speak of is from the female predominantly. So the backup plan, is it the female most cases with his backup plan, and the dumb males? The dumb males are just going along with it, going, "Yeah, this is awesome. We got so many followers," but hasn't sat back and thought,
"No,
why are we doing this?"
No, exactly.
And then before you know it, Leonardo DiCaprio's dropped into Byron Bay and thought, "Hey, you going? I've seen you.
I've seen your booty."
Yeah. And then old mate, who's in it as well, but he's only got the abs and no one cares about abs.
Because if you're an arse man like me, it's...
Wow.
And
before you know it, his abs, they're gone because his partner's
he's
left him for Leo. He's stacked on weight. He's hitting up burger shops most weekends because that's, he's feeling sorry for himself. Tries to get his own channel going to see if he can replicate that 500,000 following.
He's got no skills.
He's got nothing, and realizes what's just happened in the last, 18 months to 2 years right before his eyes. And it just drops on him, and he thinks, fuck, that's what happened. Bang. Life changed forever.
You've just absolutely nailed what I'm saying. And in 5 or 10 years, we're going to see a lot of those, probably like, Ray Finkel in mental institutions from Ace Ventura. There's going to be these Insta Fitness dudes who are just broken and spat out of the business.
I mean, are the Insta Fitness couples really in love?
No, that's my point.
That's the point. Yeah. So maybe once they separate for when they upgrade, because they're looking for upgrades. Maybe
I believe they are.
They won't care because it's not real. It's false.
Yeah, because you've got the OnlyFans stuff, which is like the porn, right? And I get that. People pay you to be the OnlyFan on Insta pages, and you get to see a bit of a show. That's like the traditional industry of porn or prostitution or whatever. But with this, it's so like a middle ground of not porn, but really not wholesome well-being. It's just these people in the middle who are just after gratification. But I think they're waiting for someone of note to hit their DMs, and they've only got a window of maybe 10 years until it all falls apart.
And I reckon even sooner. I reckon that 10 years has been generous. But yeah.
I reckon people are onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. Jeez, just when I think, where could this podcast go next? Bang! There. You hit that. Well, that's magnificent.
You opened it up with the activewear.
Yeah.
And then it led in beautifully to that. So I want to see, what are you bringing this home with tonight, Luke McCredden?
I'm just quickly trying to find a segue. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can. So I'm not going to try and push it. Speaking of pushing, see what I did?
There you go.
Shopping trolleys. I'm going to just dumb things down a little bit. I mean, that was a great chat we had from you, so I don't want to take anything away from that. But I just want to raise shopping trolleys as a topic. But specifically, the idea that one must feed a coin in to get the shopping trolley out of the group of shopping trolleys to then use the shopping trolley. Once again, and I know I've brought up things in the past where I say it's time to move on. Jars was one a few episodes ago, and this is another one that it's time to move on. Now, if I can break down and sort of strip it back a bit for you, Matt, the idea around this this thing where they were lockable. So once all the trolleys are stacked up at the supermarket, they were locked, and you just use a coin, which is fine, and it pops your trolley free. And at the end, it's like a deposit basically, because at the end you put your trolley back, you get your coin back, no dramas. And this was, I think, the majority of this was based on the fact that shopping trolleys were going missing a lot.
Yep.
You know, people were stealing them. I mean, who hasn't ridden down a steep hill in a shopping trolley? Am I right?
Well, I haven't, but I have seen them like mob hits just on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Yarra, would house tens of thousands of trolleys each year. And I did look into it, and they do cost sort of up, on average around $100, $150 each, which is significant. Yeah. But when you start adding the baby capsule bit to it, they're up around $600. Some of these things.
Oh, there's some serious fabrication and some serious compound metals there.
Oh, mate, and so I get it. All right, I get that. But then we've gotten to the point now where it's becoming a bit of a burden for a few reasons, right?
COVID?
Well, yeah. One is no one carries coins around.
No.
Another one is the supermarkets, and this isn't new, they've done this for a while, sell little tokens now that you put on your key ring, on your car keys, that just are like a key to just pop your trolley out. So the idea of needing to put your trolley back to get your coin back is redundant, because you don't even need to anymore, because you've got this little key, master key, to pop out your trolley wherever you want. You don't even have to put it back to get your key back.
Wait, right? So they give you a key? You buy a key?
You can buy it, or some of them give them to you. Yeah. So
and then you've got to return the key?
No, this is something that you've got permanently. You put it on your car keys, and it's yours forever.
Okay. But so you can still steal the trolley, though. If
that's
you got
what I'm
the key.
saying. So the coin thing has become redundant. So they've kind of ruined it for themselves, in that they're now giving us this skeleton key, so to speak, that allows us to take trolleys whenever we want and not have to return them. So anyway, so that's that. But you mentioned the pandemic. One of the points was, we're encouraged not to use cash and that sort of thing at the moment. So the coin is sort of part of that, touching, the whole, putting the coin in and carrying cash. Like, I just think, it's just a time now where everyone's over it, and it's not essential anymore. It's not a thing that's like, I'm not saying that trolleys aren't getting ridden down steep roads. I'm sure they are across the country, but it's becoming annoying now. Here's my point.
I agree with you. I think the coin thing was like Blu-ray. It's like we discussed last week. That coin is an absolute fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have a coin, even when you do, you pop it in. It's awkward to get out, and then you got to desperately, to get that $1 back. You feel like you're a real cheapskate, because you're just in front of hundreds of people just forcing a trolley back in. Yeah. And I would deliberately carry maybe 2 or 3 of those green or red baskets just to avoid a trolley. Yeah. And then that would be another story altogether. But I did have a question. Do you remember Trolley Man?
Trolley Man?
The hero that took out the terrorists with the trolley?
No, I don't.
You don't remember Trolley Man?
I don't think so. No.
Oh,
tell me about Trolley Man.
He came after Egg Boy. I think it was a year or two ago. Trolley Man rammed a terrorist wielding a knife. No, Trolley Man rammed a terrorist wielding a knife with the trolley. I wonder if he had to use a coin to get that trolley, because maybe he still saved the day, but maybe maybe he could have saved more lives if he didn't have to use the coin system.
Yeah, yeah. Or it could have been a good example of a stray trolley that he'd grabbed on the run. But in hindsight, if he had to have used the coin, disaster.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I think. Yeah, more free trolleys could mean better outcomes.
Yeah, and it's not, and I don't think anyone's got an issue with the coin situation, and as in the financial deposit that you're using. It's nothing about that at all. It's about the ease of, and especially at the moment we're trying to be slick in and out. We don't want to be mucking around. And at the moment, if you and it happened to me the other day, and I did need a trolley because I know I needed quite a few things, and they were bulky, nappies and all that sort of stuff, and didn't have a coin at all, and had to ask someone, and then so that probably took up 5 to 7 minutes of doing that because there were people everywhere to wait for. There's 5 or 6, 7 minutes that I could have been out of there and out of danger.
These days, like you go to fucking Coles or Woolworths and it's like the gulags. Like there's so many security guards and people watching you. You got to file through this door and then you got to exit through that door. You got to
counting you in.
Spray yourself with the sanitizations, and you get your Ushy rations. You get your Ushis, and then you've got to get out of there. It's like the gulags. So I'm surely now they can monitor the trolleys like they're monitoring COVID.
There you go. So keep those people employed, maybe, is what we're saying here.
Keep them there. For
once everything settles down a bit, keep them there. They can be in charge of the trolley situation. Perfect. But done. I think we've just solved it.
I think so. I think there's some behaviours that can carry on post a vaccination that will lead to better outcomes in society. Yep. But it's just important that those people doing that don't get ahead of themselves like they would in the Stalin era.
Yeah. We don't want people getting, assaulted for not putting the trolley in the right spot.
Exactly. Yeah. No power trips. But look, great point. The coin in the trolley was something that has been a gripe of mine that I never really was able to address, and I'm really glad we've addressed it, like many other things on this show. Do
you think maybe in future it might have sort of developed a new saying for moving forward, like that is a real coin in my trolley? Like saying that's a pain in the ass. That's a real coin in my trolley.
Look, it has a ring to it. It's hard to know where these sayings come from. We spoke about those sayings a couple of episodes ago, so the context has to be right. But I think it has a sentiment to it that could take off. So again, innovative. I like it, Luke. That's what the show's all about.
Well, that's good. Well, thanks, Matt. I've had a ball tonight. I've learnt some stuff, and I hope the listeners can take something away from this. And maybe we need to start a movement with the trolley thing, but I'm not going to get caught up on that. I've got to move on. But no, that's great. Excellent job.
Yeah, and look, I'm all for fitness too. I'm all for health. We spoke about leggings, we spoke about fitness, but let's just get a balance here.
Let's get a balance. Nothing balances things out like the sound of this. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Cheers.
I wonder what else you could put in a trolley.
Stubby holders? I don't know.
Yeah. Drunken shopping.
Maybe a little hot plate to cook while you're going down the aisle.